everyone, I'm back with my Seoul Illustration Fair review as an overseas artist, and I'll be doing this in the same format as how I did with my previous Design Festa review. If you're curious about Design Festa, you can check out that video. I'll link it somewhere on the screen and in the description box below. Before I start with this review, I just wanted to mention that I'll be back in Seoul for version 19 this July, so I guess you can tell that I quite like the event, but that doesn't mean that there are no issues or problems that I faced with this event. It's just that the overall experience I had made me wanted to try Seoul Illustration Fair again this year. So let's go through the pros and cons of this event, just like how I did for Design Festa. Starting with the pros, this is a 4-day event and the crowd flow is good, especially on Saturday and Sunday. It is also an illustration-centric event, so there is a specific target audience, and these people attend this event for illustration-based products, so they are willing to spend money on it. The event is held at COEX, which has a lot of food and shopping options, and the place is easy to get to via train. This means that you don't really have to worry about transport, and you don't have to worry about how you're getting your food when you are exhibiting there. So when you book a space, you are actually getting a show booth. So you get to design the whole space and make it an experience for your customer, which is something that Korean artists and attendees seems to place a lot of emphasis on, as many Korean artists have really nice and immersive decorations which made their booth stand out. And this is not just limited to illustration events. Korea has like this huge pop-up culture, and most of the pop-up stores are also all very well decorated and impressive, so this is something we can definitely learn from.
Done with the setup. I'll show every angle. How does it look like if I walk in from here? Onigiri very big, very good. Look at that! 3 eggs and mandus. They thought it was a 3-person portion. Give us like 3 pairs of utensils.
You can also set up the booth a day in advance, and there is a Daiso and office supplies shop in COEX Mall. So if you happen to need any last minute booth props or stationeries, you can always get it there before the event. The application was also very smooth as they had English version of everything from the application forms, the utility forms and the exhibition handbook. They also have English speaking staff at the event if you happen to require help. We were also given free tickets to give away, and many artists use this opportunity to hold a giveaway, which in turn can help you to get new followers, and the people that won your tickets will most likely come and visit your booth, so they are like potential customers. There are business representatives from other illustration events and private companies such as manufacturers and online platforms that will come to you and share their services and events with you, which might be useful to you in the future. Now for the cons, the booth is quite expensive in my opinion. As an overseas artist, you will have to pay by bank or wire transfer in USD specifically, irregardless of where you're from. So this chalked up quite a lot of fees for me because I'm from Singapore and we don't use USD. I also tried to ask if I could PayPal them or if there is any other alternative solution to payment, but they only allow bank or wire transfer, so there is no escaping of these fees. The booth was 660 in USD, and after converting to Singapore dollars and adding up all the fees, I ended up paying 930 SGD for a 4-day event, and there was still a shortfall because there were other remittance charge that was not shown when I was transferring, but luckily I could pay for the shortfall and any other top-up for utilities in cash during the event setup, so I didn't have to go through another round of fees. Today I'm at onigiri.
Say louder so that people can hear. Do mukbang.
This is spring roll. You press on the screen to focus. Cream cheese sauce. Okay. Press again.
So, change channel to food channel. Right?
Smoke time.
That's the big one. No. How much?
2005. So the thing here is if you want to pay by credit card or mobile payment, you need to go to another booth because we don't have the terminal nor Kakao Pay. So every time someone wants to pay with credit card or mobile payment, we have to go to the counter with them, which is quite troublesome. So I need a Korean friend so they can use Kakao Talk. Or I mean Kakao Pay.
Collecting payment was also a very big issue for me, as Koreans primarily use mobile or card payments and they don't carry cash. You can't just accept card payments via Stripe or Square, as Korea have like a different card system from other countries. I know Stripe had some updates recently and they can finally accept Korean payments, but this is only available for some countries and unfortunately it is not available for Singapore yet, so I'm still searching around for other options. But Seoul Illustration Fair does offer payment services where you bring the customer to their counter and they help you to process mobile and card payments. However, there is a high transaction fee of around 20%, and it is not as straightforward because you need to explain to them that you need to bring them somewhere else to make payment. And this brings me to the point of communication, as there is a certain degree of language barrier, especially when it comes to payment, if you are unable to take mobile or card payments at your booth. What I did was to print out Korean translations that asked if they have cash, and if not, they would have to go to the payment booth with me, and that was really helpful for me. But most of the time my customers will still be a bit confused as to why they have to go to somewhere else to make payment. So Illustration Fair is a biannual event that takes place in July and December every year, which happens to coincide with rainy and snow season, so you really got to pick your poison, because I heard from a Korean artist that the crowd varies a lot depending on the weather. The rain is really annoying though. It's the kind that will suddenly become heavy and then suddenly become light, but it never stops. And the wind is blowing in every single direction, so the umbrella doesn't really cover you well. But I still prefer to go in July despite the rain, because I don't need to pack all the winter clothing and I can save the luggage space for more merch and also for shopping. Another big thing you have to take note of is that you have to be prepared to price down your products, especially paper-based products like stickers and art prints, as they are priced quite low as compared to Singapore. So for example, a small art print in Singapore will be around 3 to 5 SGD, but in Korea it's around 1,000 to 2,000 won, and after converting that is around 1 to 2 SGD. Then for sticker sheets, it is around 3 to 6 SGD in Singapore depending on the size, but in Korea, it's around 1,005 to 2,005 won, which is 150 to 250 SGD. So as you can see, the market rate is very different, and for me, I did progressively price down my items over the 4 days, as ultimately my goal was to make back the rent and bring home as little things as possible to make space in my luggage for shopping. Of course, if you are confident about your product and you know that there is a demand for your products, you don't have to price them down. One last point, this could be a big or small issue depending on your POV, but overseas artists are placed together and separated from the Korean artists. So this could mean less footfall in general, as attendees seems to have specific Korean artists that they want to visit, and they might just skip the overseas ones since there are too many to cover. And you can actually see the difference when you walk out of your booth in the middle of the day and you see that your alley is actually less crowded than the other alleys where the Korean artists are at. But I think at the end of the day, this is not really a big issue, as there is still enough footfall in the overseas artist area. Moving on to my observations and learning points, I think a big one would be that booths with immersive themes or specific themes tend to stand out a lot. I think my big backdrop with the onigiri on the plane did help a lot in gaining attention, because many people that walk past or stop at my booth will look at my backdrop, and a lot of times they will point out the onigiri character and they will say like, oh, onigiri, or like sanka kimbap, or whatever word that is associated with an onigiri. So I think if you ever have the opportunity to booth there, you should definitely spend some time and effort in planning out how you want to decorate the 3 walls that you have, or 2 if you are a corner booth, because it will definitely help to attract attention and encourage them to stop and take a look at your stuff. I also noticed that most of the overseas artists there have friends in Korea which can help them accept mobile payments, which help them to save a lot in fees, and it is also a lot more convenient for them as they do not have to leave their booth for each transaction. Product-wise, the crowd seems to like art prints, stickers, sticker sheets, and mini charms, but not so much on regular size keychain. Almost all the Korean artists' booth has some form of follow event where you get a free sticker or art print by just following them on Instagram. At first, I didn't plan for a follow event, but there was this one guy that came up to me to show me that he followed me on Instagram and wanted the follow sticker even though I wasn't doing a follow event at that point of time. So after that, I decided to just follow what the others are doing and did a follow event as well. So if you're looking to grow your follower count, then I guess this is like a good opportunity to hit your goals. So my verdict after the event is that 10 upon 10, I will do it again. In fact, I'm returning this year in July. It will be even better if I can find a way to accept mobile payments in Korea. I won't say that the sales was amazing because I didn't make back my costs, but it was decent, and I felt that overall it was a great experience for me to be boothing alongside with other Korean artists that I like. I personally also like to go Korea to eat at a shop, so this is also like an excuse for me to go on a holiday. This is totally unrelated to the topic of illustration events, but I have been to Korea a few times and I've been there for a semester exchange as well. But somehow I find that chain store food is the best for me. Like if you want some recommendations, I would like to recommend you a few stores, like a few chain stores. So if you like jjajangmyeon and jampong, you can search up Jampong Jijeon. They have like the half-half option where you can get half jjajangmyeon and half jampong. Or you can even get like jampong with like sujebi instead of the normal noodles. My husband and I love this chain so much that we will always make sure to go at least once when we are in Korea. If you like Korean fusion pasta, you can check out Rolling Pasta. It's affordable and decent. And then for fast food chain wise, I love Mom's Touch. I always order their deep cheese Thai burger set and their fries are amazing. There are a few more chain stores that I went and I quite like them, but I can't recall them off the top of my mind right now. But I will maybe leave it on the screen or like in the description box below if I remember, and if you're interested, you can check them out. So that brings the end of my review for Seoul Illustration Fair 2024, and I'm excited for my next one in July this year. I will definitely make a vlog or another review, but I hope this video was helpful or insightful for you, especially if you are considering to join the event. My next overseas booth for now will be the Hong Kong Illustration and Creative Show in end May, and I will most likely be making a video on that as well. So if you have any suggestions on how I can make my reviews better, do let me know in the comments below. Or if there is any other local Singapore events that you would like me to review, you can also comment it down, and if I happen to join any of those, I can bring the review to you. But yes, I will see you in my next video. Bye!